Pets Who Thrive Radio with Tammy King.
Hello, I am so glad that you have joined me today. I have an amazing guest on. Her name is Liz Schmitt, and I'm going to have her give you her introduction. She's got quite the story. Hey, Liz, how are you?
Hi, Tammy. Thanks so much for having me here today.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you and some of the things that make you passionate about what you do.
Sure. Like Tammy said, I'm Liz Schmitt. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I work in the pet industry. I'm a co-owner of Momentum Carnivore Nutrition. And the journey that took me there was basically just starting working at an independent pet retail store while I was in college. And that sparked a passion that I didn't know was inside me about pet nutrition, pet product knowledge, and really independent business and how independent stores build communities and all the great things that come out of shopping in a place where people are knowledgeable and passionate about the topic that is in the four walls of that store. So
absolutely.
So I spent some time working in independent pet retail stores and then as a sales rep for a raw pet food company, because pet nutrition and feeding fresh pet food is just part of the whole health thing that I'm into. And then after working at a raw pet food company for a while, a friend of mine started a company to represent multiple brands. And so because when I was always in stores talking about multiple brands anyway, because I'm so passionate about sharing the knowledge about what cool things there are out there that we can give dogs and cats, I was like, well, this seems like a cool opportunity. And I actually became a co-owner of that company. And we represent about 20 different pet products right now with a team across the country. And that company brought the opportunity to partner with Momentum Carnivore Nutrition, which is an outstanding freeze-dried treat company out of Manitowoc, Wisconsin. We have our own facility there. The original founders run everything, and we were able to partner up with them. But yeah, now I just get to run around the country sharing knowledge about pet nutrition to awesome people that own independent pet stores. And it's like people in sales say living the dream, but it's really a dream job for me.
Yes. And that's so true. When we get to go in and day out and make such a difference in people and pets' life, it's one of those things that's kind of what feeds my soul. And I feel that with you too. Like, it's just one of those things that money can't buy. It's just amazing.
It's outstanding when people say they saw their pets get healthier. They saw their older pet get to live a couple years like a puppy instead of like an older pet. Or even when stores get to share their information about how more people in their community are shopping and getting their pets healthier and their business is becoming healthier and they're able to contribute more to their community. All of those pieces of it are it's like pure joy.
Absolutely. Yes, I know. And at the end of the day, a better and healthier pet. So
exactly.
So tell us a little bit about how Momentum Carnivore Nutrition started.
Sure. The original founder was Tony Walter's dad. He had a deli in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, and was just always doing things really quality, simple, just kind of like his opinion of the right way. And he started freeze drying pet treats. And around 2017, Tony quit her corporate job and came home to work on the family business and turned it into a legitimate treat company. That's probably around the time, Tammy, that you found the brand when it started being treats in packages that could be sold on retail store shelves.
Absolutely.
Tony's husband, Rob, learned everything that Tony's dad knows about freeze drying and is the best freeze dryer I know. The guy is a genius and can just make things. So it's been doing the thing since 2017. And then it was 2022 when Rob Mellum and Greg Perkins and I partnered up with those two because they kind of just felt like we have this really great product, but we don't have people in pet stores, people out there educating people about our product. And it was a great opportunity for people who are just running around to pet stores all the time to partner up with people who are making amazing freeze-dried products and just get the company going. So we rebranded a little bit, and here we are today.
Well, I can tell you our very first experience with Momentum was we got a call. I think it was Tony's brother at the time. He was helping out.
Okay.
And he said, hey, I wanted to see if I could send you some treats. And, anytime somebody says that, we're like, sure, go ahead. We'll try them out. So he sent them, and they were duck hearts. And the dogs went absolutely crazy. Every dog that came in the store, people were like, what is that? And we said, okay, we've got to look into this company. And so then we started buying it. At that time, it didn't have a distributor. So we were buying it by the humongous boxes. Mm-hmm. And turkey hearts is really what started to get some momentum. And that's what we sold the most of. But those very first, just the quality, the smell, everything, that's what got us into the company.
I believe that because back years ago when I worked as a rep for a different raw food company, I was visiting stores in Wisconsin and had never seen Momentum before and was like, what are these beautiful treats that I've never seen before? Where is this coming from? And like you said, the dogs went absolutely nuts. I remember bringing them home to my dogs and like pulling one piece out and cutting it into a few pieces and then sharing it. And I was like, I've never seen any kind of reaction like this. And of course, you hear that every once in a while about, my dog goes nuts over this.
Yeah,
they do. They do.
Well, and then we actually took a trip up to Wisconsin because we were going to a trade show in Minneapolis. And so we decided to go to Wisconsin. And so we got to tour I guess it was the original plant that they had. But even though it was small, they had it going on. They knew what they were doing. It was very cool. So, and even the packaging, putting the stickers on, all of that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm glad you got to go to the earlier days of the operation and just kind of appreciate, like, even though it was small and whatever, they had it dialed in.
Absolutely.
I've seen it grow a couple of times. And over my career, I've toured large and small pet food facilities, kibble facilities, canning facilities, raw facilities. And there's a range of adherence to policies that make things safe and things like that. So when a company is adhering to it and you can see it with your own eyes, it just feels really good. And that you can trust what's coming out of there.
Well, and when a company invites you to their plant, there's a certain level of vulnerability and transparency that they're willing to show. And I love that. So that's another reason I love them is that, come on in. Let's, let me show you what we do. If there was something crazy going on, that wouldn't be the case.
Absolutely. And we've grown over the years, but a lot of our team in manufacturing has been there for over 10 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's a women-led team.
Yeah, that's very cool. So I know a lot of your products, well, actually all of them they're freeze dried and kind of from raw ingredients. So talk to us a little bit about some of the benefits of some of the ingredients that you have in your products.
Sure. Well, freeze-dried nutrition is a great way to just kind of preserve the regular nutrition that's available in raw ingredient sources. And so much of what the average pet eats on an everyday basis is highly processed food. Kibble has just been, it's a basic food that's made out of like some dry ingredients that have been processed that then it gets processed again. So when you add freeze-dried into your pet's diet, you're just adding nutrition back in. Organ meat especially. Organ meat is so nutrient dense, and that just means that you don't have to eat a lot of something to get a ton of nutrition out of it. So doing something simple like adding a chew or adding one treat from something that's from freeze-dried organ meat or a freeze-dried body part, you just get kind of like a whole, well-rounded, a lot of bang for your buck nutrition put inside that animal. And when I think about it, like, I'm going to give my dog treats anyway. I'm going to give my dog things to chew on anyway, because I want to manage their oral health and stuff. So if we can be giving things in treats and in chews that check the box of health as well, while they're doing maybe sometimes even a better job of some of the conventional things that we might be giving them as a treat or a chew, I am all in, because I like to accomplish more than one thing with one action.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and the fact that it's freeze dried raw, there's just something about that dogs go nuts for anyway.
The flavor is
yes,
what is happening. And
exactly.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just so exciting that they go nuts for it.
No, I know. And they do. And it's like so many people, they'll come in, they don't just buy one bag, they buy 5, because they know that one bag just isn't going to last long enough. But
if someone's listening to this who has never tried a freeze-dried treat before, you're going to have a really fun time watching what your pet acts like when they get to experience these treats that are just more delicious than others. Like, I don't know. I think about it like think about when you go to a really good local ice cream place versus just getting the generic store-bought brand of ice cream. There's just a difference happening, and you can feel it, you can see it, you can taste it, and dogs get it. Like,
yeah, no, it's a very good analogy. Yes, absolutely. So tell me a little bit about what is it about your brand that stands out when it comes to sourcing? Because I know that's a very, very, very important thing to you guys in the company.
Yeah, Tony really does all of the due diligence with making sure sourcing is pristine. We focus on non-GMO, hormone-free, antibiotic-free sourcing. We get organic when possible. Price also is a value of ours. So we want to keep everything reasonable while we keep our sourcing really, really high. But actually expanding our sourcing into some of those Icelandic cod skin chews that we have was a really intentional choice that we made to continue to keep the level of our sourcing elevated. The chews that we have are hormone and antibiotic free. And to make sure that we can expand that chew bar while keeping everything hormone and antibiotic free, we ended up getting into the Icelandic fish skins that are sourced there and air dried there because Iceland has geothermal energy. The government maintains really pristine waters. The fish is caught and processed on the same day. It's another premise of like using the whole animal, because where the fish is filleted for human consumption and then the skin is used for pet treats and stuff. So we won't just expand a product line because we can get something from somebody who walks by us at a trade show and says, "Oh, we sell ingredients to companies X, Y, and Z. Would you like to buy from us too?" That's not just sort of like enough for us information. We make sure that we get all of the certificates of origin and then certificates of analysis. We're doing our own ingredient testing. And I don't mean our own like in-house. We're doing it via third party to verify that if we do decide to start with a new supplier, that they're doing what they're saying that they're doing, and it's on paper, and we can,
that's good.
We can trace back to that. So traceability and quality and high standards are important. When you get people that are perfectionists all together, you kind of just,
Yeah.
We're working on it though. We're trying to just be good enough.
Sure. Yeah. I know that there was a time, because we would sell so many turkey hearts at my store, that we would run out and then we would have none. And I remember talking to Tony going, "Oh my gosh, we can't be out of turkey hearts." And part of it was because they were so fussy about their sourcing. They couldn't get the quality that they needed. So they would rather not have a product than just, settle for something.
That's true. There are some things that we get asked to make and that we could source, but we just aren't expanding into because the sourcing that's available isn't aligned with the values that we have in place.
Absolutely. That's so important. Yeah. So what are some of your most popular products?
Oh gosh, sure. So the hairy pig ear.
Oh yes, I love those. My dogs love those. Yes.
It's just really like the most popular product we have. So pig ears as dog chews are, they've been around forever. You can find them in any place, but most of them are processed with really high heat. And so what happens when they're heated is the hair actually burns off. So all pigs naturally have some hair on their ears. It's just the reason that you don't see the hair is because of the heat processing that happens. So we just have the raw ears and then we freeze dry them directly. And so they still have the hair on them. And they also, because they're just freeze dried, the heat doesn't shrink them in size. So they're a really large ear. It's all hairy. And that might, not be for everyone in their mind. But the deal is that hair acts as an insoluble fiber inside our pet's digestive system. So it's scrubbing out any of the little gook that's left from the birthday cake that you gave them, or
Right.
birthday cake for dogs, not for people.
Yeah, exactly.
But, it really just helps clean out their system. So again, back to that, like accomplishing more than one thing at a time. Your dog needs to chew because it exercises their neck muscles. It helps their oral care. It keeps their boredom stimulated. I mean, there's a list of reasons why dogs need to chew. So like, let's give them something in rotation that can not only do all of those things, but like it's putting insoluble fiber in there. Plus there's protein in the pig ear. There's high quality fat in the pig ear. It's a bioavailable way to get all the things.
Yeah. Well, my dogs absolutely love them. I have to buy them by the inner pack bulk bag. Yeah, the bulk bag. Yes, because they absolutely love them.
Well, yeah, you can't stop at just one,
No.
But maybe you want to do chewing in moderation. Chewing every day for your dog is fantastic, but I would recommend kind of rotating around what you chew. Whether it's like you go on a pig ear one day and you do a duck neck the next day and you do a bully stick the next day, or a fish skin the day after that, or even rotating into things that aren't Momentum brands. I support that too. I'm a real person.
Yeah.
But, I think the rotation and then keeping your dog guessing on like is this going to take me 45 minutes or is this going to take me 2 minutes or what's going on here? I think that's all really good for the dog.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so the pig ear is one of our most popular. And then our heart treats. Our heart treats they just continue to stay in our top sellers. We have chicken hearts, we have the turkey hearts that you talked about, and we have beef hearts. And I think because when people learn that the heart muscle has as many nutrients as it has, and there's like a fact that kind of has gotten popular in pet stores about how the alpha dog will eat the heart of the prey. So if, you want your dog to get the best meal or whatever, include some heart in that. I had a dog with a heart issue, so we fed her tons of heart just in order to do the Eastern medicine theory where like supports like. So if you feed heart to a pet with a heart issue, the cells in the body are going to be supported better. So anyway, our heart treats are really popular. And then the new training bites that we have.
Oh my gosh.
Just skyrocketed in popularity. Everybody's doing training. Dogs love training. It's another great boredom buster. Whether you have a well-trained dog, just doing those exercises are fun for the dog and can be fun for us. I mean, we should get up every once in a while too.
Yeah, really.
But we made those training bites intentionally without any liver in them. And we love liver. We have single ingredient liver treats, but there's 1,000 training bites out there that have liver in them, and people are probably already using liver for training. So we thought, what a great opportunity to get other nutrients from other organs in the dog or the cat during the training process. Because, if you put heart and kidney into the pet in conjunction with the liver while you're doing other training, I mean, that puppy is going to be so smart and so healthy and so just off to the right start with all the nutrition getting inside. Not to mention if you're struggling with a baked training treat not being enticing enough to get dogs.
Right. The high value
to a certain point, but I'm not doing any of this extra stuff. Okay. In comes the Momentum training bites and sitting there doing whatever you want.
Yeah. You also have several things that are freeze-dried that are sometimes different, and that's like the necks and the duck heads and, some of those things. Can you speak about those?
Sure. So that's part of our single ingredient chew line. We have chicken necks, we have duck necks, and we have turkey necks. Those, depending on the size of your pet, you could almost feel like feed like a meal replacement, similar to how people do with the frozen ones from time to time. those necks contain cartilage, and cartilage contains all kinds of things that can support digestive health. It can support hip and joint health. So again, you're like doing the more bang for your buck while you're getting nutrition in with the chewing time. And also just for the world, it's great when we're using like turkeys, for example. Most turkeys that are raised for human consumption, the neck isn't part of what the humans are interested in consuming. So when we in the pet industry can take that and it's not waste, it's actually used in a really good way. It's great for the planet overall.
Sure. Yeah. Might as well use the whole as much as you could. Yeah.
Exactly. So we have the necks, we have the bully stick, we have the duck heads. Because again, I mean, I'm not eating that if I'm eating duck.
Yeah.
And when you get into that head to tail feeding philosophy too, like throwing your dog a duck head every once in a while, like when we know there's a bunch of nutrition in a brain, so eat one every so often. I guess.
Yeah. I know the very first time I gave one out, I was like, wow, this is different. But now it's second nature. They love it. And it's natural. So
when you watch a dog, like, and what they'll do, like with a dead fish on the side of a lake or any kind of, how excited they are if they get a baby bunny and bring it to you and what they're going to do with it. Like you can kind of get around that maybe a dog eating a duck head is natural and okay. And
exactly.
Whatever. Yeah,
exactly. I know. So one of the things too about your brand is you're all about simplicity and purity.
Yes.
So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, single ingredient treats were kind of like the foundation of the company, and single ingredient can be so beneficial when you're trying to figure out any kind of a problem that's going on with your pet, because you end up eliminating options and finding out what's really true and what will work. So part of it is that. And I think with simplicity, like our functional topper products only have 4 ingredients and they still work. We gave them to people who had never used supplements before we launched them, and got amazing feedback about how digestion was improved from the gut health topper and how mobility was improved from the joint health topper. And you don't expect that always when you're just using a topper or something like
right.
that. Like, I feel like you expect that out of a clinically proven supplement or like a medicine from the vet. But
right.
When you choose, like, for example, our gut health topper has goat milk in it, dandelion, and yucca. And all of those things are phenomenal for supporting the digestive system. And then we paired it with turkey gizzard protein. You might think like, well, why? The gizzard is part of the digestive tract. So if you get into that Eastern medicine where like feeds like, if you're going to choose a protein to put in a digestive situation, there you go,
Wow, that's amazing.
So simple, but like with super high intentions behind it. And then you can guide your pet into the right thing that you need to do. We have some topper grinds that are single ingredient. And so there's like a single ingredient beef kidney. Well, the average person might not have a clue why you would top your food with beef kidney. A dog that just likes palatability or a cat that just wants their food to be delicious could absolutely eat any given meal with beef kidney topped on it in rotation, or just go through the bag and then try something else. But if you have a pet that has bladder support needs, kidney support needs, and you're following that like feeds like thing, that can be a great choice to make versus just some average old other beef topper that might not target the need state quite as specifically. So
yeah,
I think there's room for like products that have a lot of ingredients in them and products that are very limited, and just figuring out how to use them and like how to keep it exciting for your pet too. Cause that's one of our big things is like, we just celebrate your pet is one of our taglines. And it's like, when I think about celebrate your pet, I think about when I come home, my dog is celebrating.
Oh yeah.
That's
awesome.
That's not just like a, hey, what's up? That's
exactly.
So it's like, so what are we doing to celebrate them?
Yes.
And they get excited about us. They get excited about food. They get excited about walks. So how can we celebrate them in all of these ways? And with food, it is through the health, because
I love that. Celebrate. Yes, that is wonderful, because you're
like
right.
the party.
Yeah, they get, whenever we walk in, it is like we just told some kids that they're going to Disney World right now. It's just like, yay, I haven't seen you in 5 minutes or 5 hours. It's just, they're so excited. And you're right. Like, why can't we pass some of that excitement and celebration onto them? I love that.
And
That's
even
great.
cats, like, they might show their celebratory acts in different ways.
Yes.
I have cats that, like, you walk in the door and, like, wherever they are in the house, they've now entered the room that you're in. And it's like, that is the level they're going to hit, but they hit it,
That's right. That's right. That's their way of telling you, I'm excited you're home. I'm not going to do circles and jump on you.
Right. There's no jumping, but there's a showing up.
That's right. That's all right. Yes. So what are some of the things that you would say you've heard, some of the feedback you've heard from customers as they've tried your treats or your toppers or things like that?
Oh, that it gets stolen off the shelf by the store cat when the store is closed, or palatability is the real thing. Our pork tenderloin treats, I think, are the thing that I get the most sort of like wild feedback on, as far as things that pets will do for them. And I don't know, I mean, they are very palatable. I've seen this a million times. I've gone into stores where I just thought, you're just nonchalantly giving the cats that are in the store a couple of treats, and you'll wander away and the cat is like diving down the whole counter, knocking everything off, trying to get back to me for another treat. And I'm like, oh, so you like,
yes,
okay,
that was a hit. Yeah.
And those are a really cool treat, because how if you eat a piece of pork chop, you cut the bite of pork chop and you can see like the muscle.
Yes.
You can see how the meat looks muscly and whatever. So the pork tenderloins, obviously it's been freeze dried, but you can still see all of the like striations in the muscle. You can tear it apart in a way that it's not like it's just a brown blob. It's like, this is like an actual piece of meat. You kind of want to rehydrate it and put it on a fork and eat it.
Right.
That's not what we're here to recommend. This is like pet consumption, but palatability.
But it looks good enough that you could, yes.
And I think that's really due to, like, Rob has really dialed in the freeze drying process. You can freeze dry in different freeze drying facilities, and there's tweaks to the process. There's different temperatures to use, different machines turn different things out. And I don't know, whatever's coming out of Momentum just is delicious and looks beautiful, and the dogs go nuts for it.
Yes. Well, and the one thing you said earlier that I want to touch on that I love too is that all of your ingredients are intentional. Like, even when you were talking about your functional toppers, they're not just something that's going to help the pet, but pets love them. Like, a lot of times you'll have some sort of nutrient that the dog, needs, or cat, but it's not palatable. So they're not able to get it. So this is like next level. They don't even know they're getting good stuff.
And it's hard to convey all of that just on a packaging for a product, but it's so true. Like, our chicken breast topper is one of my favorite products. And the reason being is because most dogs eat kibble, and many of those dogs are on a chicken-based kibble. So chicken is very regular out there. Most prescription diets are chicken. So if you're trying to keep things kind of in a similar wheelhouse, it's really easy to top with chicken if you're new to topping. Chicken has a complete amino acid profile for dogs and cats. And that's important because amino acids are the building blocks of protein, and amino acids get cooked out when things are cooked. So your kibble and its amino acid profile isn't complete from the whole food's ingredients. It's complete because of the way that it's built together and, and cooked things and other things that have nothing to do with the protein. So protein from the fresh meat. So if you start throwing, like, if you're seeing your dog and it just has like a dull coat, whatever, doesn't look great, doesn't seem to have allergies. You switch foods. Okay, it looks a little bit better for a little while, but then it just kind of goes back to meh. Or maybe you're experiencing that same kind of story with digestion. It's like digestion's fine, I guess, but never perfect, but I don't know. Could be that there's nothing wrong other than just this is a kibble-fed dog with an amino acid deficiency. So throwing a little bit of this chicken breast topper onto the kibble, providing those amino acids, filling in those gaps from a whole food source, bam, you don't experience any of this funny, like dull coat anymore or weird digestive intermittent. Why would a chicken breast topper fix that? It's like the brain doesn't want to just understand that would be the simple solution for all of these things, but it's like, holy smokes.
Yeah, it really does. And it's just like, well, because it's like raw nutrition, which raw food does the same thing. We happen to rescue quite a bit of dogs, and they'll come, on a pretty poor kibble, right, and their hair is a little bit wiry or rough, or get some dandruff. We get them on a raw diet, and all of a sudden their coat's so soft, shiny, they don't have dandruff anymore. But that's the exact same reason why that chicken topper is making such a difference too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. So what are some of the things that you guys are doing, I guess, kind of like growing the company, maybe what you've already done? Just kind of walk us through some of that.
Well, this last year, the training bites were a new product for us, and so were the cod skins. We just put the cod skins, they were originally just launched in bulk, where you can just buy like one of whatever off of the chew bar at the store. And now we're launching them in packages. So for dogs that are raving fans, they can get more than one at a time. And that's really exciting. And then we're working on a food. So we'll have a food one day. I don't know. I'm not going to like speak to what the timing of the launch will be, because that is always lie. But
that's exciting. Are we looking at freeze-dried or frozen, or not sure yet?
Yeah. Okay. Right now our facility has the capacity to do the freeze-dried product, not the frozen product. So
yeah,
if we did a frozen product, we would partner with a co-manufacturer. But yeah, we have food in the works, and I've awesome. Some of it. It's nice. So
good. I love that. Yes.
Come to the table with that one day. And, the goal there is just not to have a bunch of synthetic ingredients that make something complete and balanced, but just try to get the balance out of whole food ingredients.
Right. And, a lot of people don't even realize how the synthetic vitamins, our bodies aren't even able to uptake that. And so it almost becomes like a foreign body. So the more we can get natural sources of vitamins and minerals from our food, the more we're going to be able to absorb and use from that. So that's wonderful.
Exactly. I love the food-based vitamin bioavailability situation where we actually are getting the nutrition.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So what are some of the things that pet parents can do to kind of kickstart their dog's nutritional level? So we're talking about kibble-fed dogs and raw-fed dogs. What would be some things they could do to kick it off good?
I would just pick something and start. If you're doing training, start with some freeze-dried training bites and incorporate that in there. If you're just a regular, like, oh, my dog gets treats for being a good boy or coming inside or just whatever, try some freeze-dried treats in that area. If you're looking at your dog's teeth going, yep, there's room for improvement here, start with some chews. And, or if you're like all in, just kind of just try a few of those different things and see what happens. If you're brand new, everything should be started gently, because just like anything, we start something all in, and it's totally different than what we're normally doing. The digestion situation is gonna arise, but I think treats are a great place to start incorporating more health into your pet's diet, because we think about treats as humans as being unhealthy but delicious. But we have to, with pets, the deliciousness actually is in these most healthy treats that are these nutrient-dense organ meats. So, I mean, if I love the taste of heart, cool. I would probably thrive on that. But our dogs actually do. So for them, treats can be the healthiest thing ever.
That's such a good point. But not just getting a treat, but actually getting some health benefit as well. So that's pretty amazing.
But they go nuts for it. Like you take some of those rubber toys, like, I don't know what, whether it's Kong or West Power, Tall Tales or whatever, but like you take a few freeze-dried chicken hearts and stick those into a rubber toy that you essentially have for the life of your dog. So you make one purchase on this toy, and then you can restuff it with all of these delicious things over and over and over multiple times throughout the day to keep your pet busy. Also, while adding the nutrition, that's like one of my favorite no-brainer ways to just start getting this stuff in the dog, because it's going to be your dog's favorite time of day. It's like, oh my gosh, 3 chicken hearts inside this thing that I get to play with puzzle for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, then I'm
in.
That's right. And a bonus, you're getting some enrichment.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Rotate that one day with a duck neck the next day and a fish skin the next day. There's so many nutrients. You look at your dog's teeth and you're like, your teeth got cleaner, and do I see a little bit better waistline going on? That's
right.
Interesting. I didn't even really do anything. Okay, I like it.
Yeah, it's so true. So is there anything that we did not touch on that you want to make sure listeners know about Momentum?
Shop at independent pet stores. That's my thing. If listeners are going to take something away, find a neighborhood pet store in your area, go in there, get to know the employees, get them to know your pet, and they will help you so well with all the things that you want to do.
Yes.
To whatever degree of involved in nutrition education you want to be. If you want to just get some good treats and move along, or if you want to learn about the niacin level in the brands of food they carry or whatever.
Right. No, it's such a good point, because like I have a small store in Texas, and we really focus on nutrition and knowing our products. And I think a lot of independent pet stores are the same way. And for whatever reason, I think some of the bigger stores, they just don't have the time, the training, all of that we're able to give.
Mm-hmm. It's passion driven. And
yes.
So you'll know when you walk into the store that you want to keep shopping at, and it'll feel right.
That's right.
But keep shopping until you find that one.
That's right. So where can people find you? If they want to learn more about your products and everything?
Sure. So we're online, of course, at www.momentumcn.com. And we can be found in independent pet stores across the United States. And if you go to our website, you'll also find a store locator. So you can put in like your zip code and find out where to shop.
Awesome. Yes.
And all hopefully, mediums.
Yes. And hopefully people will take a chance on some of these products. I mean, it's life-changing for the pet's health, and it's also something that they love at the same time. So, yeah. So thank you for your commitment to these products and all the quality and everything that you guys bring to the table. We appreciate it.
Well, and we appreciate you. Thank you for having a store and like diving into the knowledge and just doing what's good for pets all day, every day.
Yes. We love it. Well, thanks again, Liz. I'm so glad you could join us today, and we'll be talking soon.
Thanks, Tammy.